The E30 BMW M3, is it the most overhyped, overpriced classic car of our generation, or an appreciating icon worth every inflated penny and more? We'll ask our panel of experts. Also, is the Toyobaru FT86 BRZ leading a revolution in affordable rear-drive sports cars? That's all today on After Drive. So what is it about BMW's first M3 that makes sober-minded men with money to burn go weak in the wallet? Yes, the 1980s was an important time for production racing sedans. BMW desperately needed a car to stomp rival Mercedes-Benz in touring car competition. The M3 was that car, and was it ever? It had an angry four-cylinder that pulled all the way to infinity, handling balance as perfect as German racing engineers could make it, and box flares that would make Kate Upton quit bikinis and hang around the Dairy Queen for the rest of her miserable blonde life. Not really. Anyway, the remaining E30 M3s on the road have become very hot-ticket items, with prices set to double from where they were just a few years ago. What's going on? I think I know, but let's hear from the experts. Jalopnik editor Travis Okolski and Classic Car Club Manhattan's Mike Priccinello and Zach Mosley. Travis.
So according to Sports Car Market, the E30 M3 has gone up 27% in the last year.
27% in value. And the other thing they said, which is interesting, is that they gave it 5 stars, which means that it's going to continue, or at least they're projecting it's going to continue to go up in value.
It's an investment now.
It's an investment now.
Instead of just being a car you drive around on a racetrack, it's a car now that people might start parking when they buy to let it accrue value.
Well, that would be a bad thing.
I hate that.
Mike and Zach from Classic Car Club Manhattan. So you guys, it's, I know I just came from your place a couple of, well, it was last week or 2 weeks ago, and you had one that looked mint.
Yeah.
So, and you've had other ones before. So, like, what's the...
Yeah, you know, when we started the club in 2005, I was offered a pretty decent driver, you know, in good shape, maintained, a couple modifications for like 12 grand. And I was like, it's kind of expensive. This one that we just sold, you know, it was at 164,000 miles, but the whole car had been rebuilt over the past 10 years.
Right.
It was perfect. And I could have sold it 10 times over for asking price, which is $28,500.
Wow.
I probably should have
made it
with
low 164, 30s. but well maintained. By the way,
yeah.
Probably the best looking interior of one of those
car,
things
wasn't it?
I've seen since the New York Auto Show 1987.
Yeah,
I wanted to buy it from him, and then all these offers started coming. I was like, I've already driven it. It's cool.
And you know, I'm convinced you could roll that car into a BMW showroom today. It was a really modern color combo. It was like salmon gray with a cardinal interior.
Yeah.
And someone would be like, "All right, they finally got the 1 Series right." You know, it looked like a modern car.
Right. Okay, so on Twitter, Andrew Attia says was looking at some to buy last night on Craigslist. Cheapest one was $20K. You're paying for the Lineage, I guess. We'll talk about the Lineage in a little bit. Joe Hogg says, as well as clean E46 M3s and even some of the high mileage E60s, M5s at 30 grand. I love E30s, but they're becoming wealthy toys. That's they were sort of always wealthy toys, but they did have a down period. They're awesome and worth it. The most successful touring car, aren't they? We'll talk about that. Nick Ganaway said that. And then on Facebook, there was actually a pretty good thread on the Drive Facebook page. Literally dozens of people talking about it.
Around the world.
Around the world. The E30 M3 is God's chariot, says John Robert Burrow.
Ooh,
wow.
Yeah.
Like him.
Exactly. Same thing happened